right, so first things first, I want to go over a new agent checklist. And so if you are a new agent, go ahead and get a pen and paper. If you do not have a pen and paper, then oh snap, quickly go run and find one, or pull up the notes on your phone, but somewhere that you guys can write this down. But what I want to start off with is making sure that you get plugged in, because there's a saying that if you're plugged in around the campfire, that you're going to have a lot more success, and the warmth of the campfire is going to keep you warm during the cold days, right? So when you have a day that you're struggling, being able to plug back in, knowing where to go to training, knowing where a supportive community is, that's going to be crucial to your success, because there are going to be a lot of ups and downs in this business. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen real quick. And where we're going, if you guys want to write down this website, or you guys can go there with me right now, it is fflamerica.com. We're going to go ahead and real quickly go through this checklist here. Should take us about 7-8 minutes to kind of go through this and explain everything. So FFL
Alex.
America.
Hey, Alex, your email is like on our screen.
Oh, I'm sharing the wrong screen. Thank you. 1 second. And how about this one? Ready? There we go. Much better.
Okay.
Hey, there you go. Apparently I paid some invoices. You guys have seen I paid invoices on my email. So there you go. So this is this right screen right here. This is fflamerica.com. This is our resource website. Write it down or go there with us right now. But this checklist is something we're going to knock out right now if you haven't already done it. The first one is we want to make sure you guys are inside of our Facebook group. So if you click on that link, it'll open up our Facebook group and give you an option to join if you're not already a part of it. But as you can see, there's already 30,000 members in this Facebook group that was started about 4 or 5 years ago. And there's probably a couple dozen, if not 100 plus, every single day being added. And just a really good supportive community where you can ask questions and learn tips, support each other, et cetera, et cetera. So like this person took 9 times to pass their exam, but they did it. And like 300 people are really excited for Anna. So just a really good supportive community. So click on that little link and join the private Facebook group. Make sure you answer the questions to get in. The second thing that I want you all to do right now, like literally right now, grab your phones while we're on this call. You're going to go into your text. And if you have already done this, you don't have to. But if you have not done this, go to your text messages and start a new message. And the phone number you're texting is 224-225-8777. And in all caps, you're going to type in the word join, JOIN, and send that text message. So text join to 224-225-8777 right now. And what that does is that gets you on a little text list that Grady Polson manages, where he sends out, usually it's one training call reminder right before the training call. That way you don't end up missing the important training calls if you guys can get on them. So it's not like he's going to be texting you 40 times a day. It's just 1, maybe 2 per day, and it's worth it. So go ahead and text join to 224-225-8777 to get training call reminders. Third thing we want you all to do is make sure you guys are inside of our Slack app. So this link right here is an invite link. If you are not inside of Slack, I would recommend doing this on your phone. So if you can do it right now, awesome. Go ahead and knock it out. If you want to stay focused on everything else we're going over, just note to self, write it down, make it your homework as soon as we hang up here. You're going to want to go and click on this link on your phone. So it's going to make you download the Slack app on your phone. And the cool thing about Slack is it's the Facebook group's like a really big community. Slack is kind of just our team specifically. So let me kind of show you here. A lot of really great channels within Slack kind of going over what the team is up to and who's having success and all that. But my favorite channel inside of Slack is this one right here. This is the Sales Results Daily. So this is where people are literally posting their sales in real time about how much money they're making with their sales. And so like Danielle just 30 minutes ago went out and made about, was that $3,500 on a Sunday night? So really cool. And there's a lot of other good stuff. We'll be kind of going over this as we get later on, like this in-home health channel, etc. But download the Slack app, join our Slack, and you will be staying updated with our team specifically. A little bit of a smaller community instead of the large 30,000 person community on Facebook. The next thing we want to do is the WorkSpots app. WorkSpots is a little bit newer. It's been around for a few months now, but what it is, it's two main things. Number one is it is your ability to stay plugged into all the offices here at Family First Life. The second thing that it is it's great for lead discount coupons. And so I have the WorkSpots app right here on my phone. I'm gonna kind of show it to you guys a little bit here. But and literally right as I'm logging in, you can see there's this little pop-up as soon as I clicked on the app. I know it's up backwards, but basically what this is saying that there's a 30% off coupon for leads for WorkSpots members. That's what that's saying. So once a week, usually on Wednesdays, they release a coupon, and it's for new internet leads, it's for instant internet leads, it's for a lot of different things. But if you're already going to be spending money on leads in this business, you might as well be saving money. And the WorkSpots app, when you sign up, it's 99 bucks a month. So it's $3 a day. It's the cost of your Starbucks coffee every single day. And just one of these 30% off coupons, you go buy $1,000 of leads, you save 300 bucks. It just paid for itself for the next 3 months. You save 300 bucks, you spent 99. That's one time buying leads. So it's one of those things, if you're going to be in business, like it just does, like there's no reason every single person in FFL is not on WorkSpots. And if you're worried about the $99 for it, then you probably shouldn't be working at Family First Life, because you're going to have to spend money on leads if you want to be really successful here and get to 20K a month. So that's what the WorkSpots app is all about, is not only the coupons, but also the different offices. And so if you're like new to Family First Life and you're wondering if there's an office near you, there's this cool little section here where you could search for different states, search for different offices, and every office that's in FFL is on this WorkSpots app. So you can kind of plug in and see what's going on. So like for me here in Dallas, I got this Dallas, Texas office right here. That's our office. And it has the office hours, it has location, et cetera, et cetera. And every single office is just like that. So if you're new and you want to get plugged into what's going on around you, get on the WorkSpots app, enjoy your lead coupons, and plug into the local office. So definitely worth the 99 bucks a month. It's, again, if you're a business owner, you invest in yourself, it's just a no-brainer. If I had the option when I started to be saving 30, 40, 50% on my leads, I would do it in a heartbeat, because there were no coupons for my first 2 years I was in business. So a huge blessing for newer agents. It's awesome. Next thing we want to do, this will take you approximately 17 seconds. You're going to join the corporate email blast. You're really going to click on this link. It pulls up a little page here, and you literally just fill it out and you click sign up. If you do not know who your direct upline is, feel free to put my name. But you know, this is just how you get emails from corporate about sales conferences, lead discount coupons, conventions, FFL swag, like name badges, business cards, things like that. So by the time I finish saying this, you already could have signed up. So it takes 17 seconds. Go ahead and do that. And then the last thing we want everyone that's a new agent to do is the boot camp. Now, disclaimer about the FFL America boot camp is that you should not start this if you have not passed your exam. So if you're on this call today and you're getting excited and you are still not licensed and you're studying to pass your exam, don't start boot camp yet. First things first, you got to pass your license, knock that out in less than 2 weeks, right? After you get your license and you're starting your contracting process, which if you don't know what that means, ask your manager. They can help you out, walk you through it. That's when you want to knock out this boot camp. You just click here to get signed up. It's totally free. But the cool thing about it is it's going to teach you everything you need to know in order to be successful here at Family First Life. It's going to get you all plugged in. It's going to talk about the leads. It's going to go a lot into the phones and phone scripts like we are tonight. You're going to get to learn about the presentation, the different kind of presentations you can do, a little bit about the products, and then getting all set up with the lead strategy call with your manager to get out in the field. So this should take you, boot camp usually takes most people about 5 to 10 days. And then at the end of 5 to 10 days, you got some agent numbers back, you got your prosperity number, you got your Americo number, you got your AIG number, and you're ready to get out there in the field. So that is the new agent checklist, each of those 6 things. And there's no reason by the time we're off this call or before you go to bed tonight, you haven't done all 6 to get plugged in. So that's the first thing we wanted to make sure we go over. I'm going to stop sharing my screen. Is there anyone on here that has any questions about any of those 6 things? It's not embarrassing. It's not weird. Speak now or forever hold your peace. If anything is unclear about that before we jump into a little bit about lead training. So going once, going twice. All right, love to see it. Rolling along, cool. So let's talk about leads. So we're gonna the rest of. Did you say did not start boot camp until you have your license? Yes, Tina. Would not recommend starting boot camp until you get your license because it's just information overload. So focus on doing your license. 3, 5, 6, 8 hours a day of studying. Knock it out in less than 2 weeks. Then you jump into boot camp. And boot camp, you want to take your time a little bit. Should take you about 4 to 10 days while you're waiting on your agent numbers to come back from the companies. So with that being said, let's focus a little bit on lead flow. We're going to do a little quiz here in the, like a poll here in the chat. So if you have bought leads before, with FFL, drop a 1 in the chat. If you have never bought leads with FFL, drop a 2 in the chat. Just so I can kind of get an idea of if we're dealing with, let's see. It's all coming in so quick. All right. About a 50-50 split. Okay, cool. So here's the way our leads work at Family First Life. First off, you don't have to do anything. Okay. You are a 1099 independent contractor. You are your own boss. This is not your boss saying you have to do anything. However, if you want to be successful here at Family First Life, you're going to want to have leads. And here's the reason why. There are a lot of great agencies out there, but at the end of the day, you can only talk to your friends, family, and people in the mall so much. You can only post on your Instagram story about how you're taking the next 3 people to want to get a life insurance quote 10 times a day before you just lose all your credibility. You kind of get ignored at Thanksgiving dinner. Your friends stop hitting you up to go out. It just gets awkward after a while. And so when people say, oh, you have to buy leads, you don't have to buy leads. But my mindset is, how fortunate am I that I get to buy leads? Because I've worked in a place that doesn't have leads before and it stinks. And it's really nice to be able to have the confidence of knowing we have leads all over the country. You could swipe your credit card, use it as a tax write-off, and have interested people to talk to. So with the leads, a couple different places to kind of get some lead information. But first things first, I'm going to show you 2 different things for leads. First one is right here on fflamerica.com. There's this awesome button that says leads. Let's see what this magical leads button does. Oh my gosh, there's a lot of information about leads here. So if you have not watched these videos, go ahead and watch these. This is Grady Polson, and then this is Sasha from the corporate office going over the different lead options. And this is my go-to page for leads outside of the CRM that I'm about to show you. So this is where the Facebook final expense options are. You can get your own life insurance quote leads. You can look at aged mortgage leads. A lot of good options here. And most of these are going to range anywhere from $13 to $30, depending on the lead type. So that's this leads tab. This is not the end all be all, but I just want to show you this is one resource for leads. And you could also set up a coaching call. If you have like a budget over $1,000 a week from day one, then I'd recommend doing a coaching call. If your budget's under $1,000 a week from day one, when I say a week, I'm not saying like one time, but like I got a couple thousand put aside. I could spend $1,000 a week to get started or more. That's when I would probably schedule a coaching call. Obviously let your manager know as well. But so this is one resource. This is always a good place just to go back and check. The other resource, and the one that I prefer, is our CRM, the FFL CRM. So you get access to the CRM for free when you're going through boot camp. So again, if you're not licensed yet, don't worry about it. You don't need it yet. But once you are waiting on your writing numbers, you're going through boot camp, that's when you're going to want to get access to the CRM, ask your manager, and they can help you get access to this. We have great admins that will be able to do that for you. So the nice thing about our CRM is you can see a heat map. And yes, some areas there's more leads than others, because believe it or not, there's a lot more people in Indianapolis and Ohio than there is Montana, right? Just the way it is. But This heat map is showing leads all over the country, and this is how many there are inside of the CRM. So if you were to add this up, it's a little bit over 2 million leads in the CRM available right now, which is awesome because then people are just like, oh man, there's no leads in my area. And it's like, go drive 2 hours, go drive 3 hours, go catch an hour and a half flight. Guarantee you, you've got hundreds, if not thousands of leads within an hour and a half flight of you. Guaranteed. That's the nice thing about this map. So, and then there's lots of different lead types. So the internet leads are people that were online looking for life insurance quotes, and they went ahead and filled out a quote online. Usually they're asking for a lot of information to do that. They're asking for name, date of birth, email, phone number. Do you currently have insurance? Are you married? Do you have a mortgage? Are you a tobacco user? So they're collecting a lot of information, and the leads are coming in when they click get my quote. It comes in here to the CRM where we can call them and say, hey, I'm getting back to you about that quote, life insurance quote you were looking for in Dallas County or wherever county you're at, right? So that's internet leads, and those range. The cheapest ones are going to be $3, which are the aged internet leads. You can see if you click on the blue text, it pops up. Those are up to 6 months old. To brand new instant real-time leads are $11. So that's someone that literally fills out the form, clicks submit. It's instant. It goes right into our CRM instantaneously for $11. First come, first serve, which is awesome, right? So $3 to $11 for these internet leads. Second type of lead is direct mail. And most of these are going to be mortgage protection, but there are a couple final expense as well. But what direct mail means is that someone that got a postcard in the mail, and if it was mortgage, it probably said something about paying off the mortgage if you get sick or pass away. If it's final expense, it probably said something about getting your final expenses covered up to 30,000. Fill out this postcard, send it back in the mail, someone will be in touch with you. That's basically what direct mail means. Someone literally took the time to check their mail, read a postcard, go through their junk drawer, find a pen, fill it out, make sure everything is spelled right, and stick it back in the outgoing mailbox. So very, very high intent. They can't say, oh, I didn't do that, I don't remember that, because you literally get the postcard back with their handwriting on it, which is why I love direct mail leads. And you could see again, there are hundreds of thousands of these all across the country. And so the ones that say without image don't have the original postcard. Anything that doesn't say if it doesn't mention that it's without image, that means it does have an image. So you got the 1 month, 2 month, 3 month, these ones, these ones, these ones, these ones, these ones. So that's 9 different types of direct mail that you, when you buy the lead, you literally get the postcard as well. And they range from $2.50 for final expense mailers. And they're old, right? They're aged, so they're going to be old. That's totally fine, because for $1.50, we're going to talk about ROI in a little bit, but there's impossible not to make your money if you work them. And the most expensive one of these, I believe, are these ones, the 1 months, which are $9. So anywhere from $1.50 to $9 to get handwriting on a card that you can work with. The last type are Facebook generated leads. And these ones are actually made by Family First Life's corporate office. And there's someone who was online and saw an ad for final expense insurance on Facebook. And they clicked on the ad on Facebook, filled out their information, and clicked get a quote. And then they become a real-time instant final expense lead. And those are $25 each. Super high intent, exclusive, never resold, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So you have a wide variety of lead types in here. You have the internet quote leads, you got the direct mail, final expense, and mortgage leads, and then you got the Facebook leads. So what I want to do is I'm going to go ahead and like role play with someone. We're going to go pick on someone here that is going to demonstrate with me. I'm going to kind of go check an area We're gonna go look at it. So Henry Coleman, can you unmute, please? Yeah, I picked on you. I saw your reaction. Henry Coleman, go and unmute for me.
Yes, sir.
How you doing, man?
I'm doing great.
Okay, cool. So we're gonna role play as if I'm doing a lead strategy call with you. And we're gonna kind of go look here in the CRM and come up with the lead strategy together as if you're a new agent to figure out the best kind of leads to make it make sense, make sure you can make some money. So first things first, Henry, where do you live, Henry? What part of the country are you living in?
Jackson, Mississippi.
Jackson, Mississippi. Okay. And are you part-time or full-time?
Part foot tab. I'm both.
Probably full-time. Okay, cool. And so when I sit down with people and I do lead strategy calls with people, I usually like to kind of get an idea of how much they're trying to do per week, just so we can kind of reverse engineer the numbers and kind of make it make sense. And so for yourself, Henry, are you looking to make closer to like 2,000 a week, 5,000 a week, 10,000 a week? You tell me what kind of numbers you're trying to make in a week here at FFL.
2,000 plus.
2,000 plus?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So for 2,000 plus, let's go with 5, because the whole idea with this call is that anyone could do 20K a month. And if you're doing 5K a week, that's 5,000 times 4 weeks. There's your 20K right there. So let's shoot for $5,000 and kind of look at what a lead strategy would look like to write 5,000 in a week. So if you want to write 5,000 in a week, I would probably recommend spending anywhere from $700 to $1,000 per week in leads. If you spend the 700, you probably have to work them a little bit harder. You spend 1,000, it should be an absolute cakewalk to get to your 5,000, right? So as I'm looking here in the CRM and I'm zooming in on Jackson, Mississippi, are you in Hinds County? Are you in Rankin? Where are you?
Hines County.
Hines, am I saying that wrong? Hines, okay.
Yeah.
So you're in Hines County right here. Beautiful, Jackson, Mississippi. So right here in the CRM, if we're looking at like a $750 lead budget, trying to make our $5,000 this week. First leads I look at aged mailers and I look at newer internet leads. I love a combination of new leads and old leads. You don't want to do all age stuff because you're going to get beat up on the phones and it could be discouraging. And even if you know it's coming, it could still be discouraging. But you also don't want to do all new stuff because they can get pretty expensive to do all new stuff. So that's kind of where I like a mix of both to get your quantity and your quality. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Cool. So I'm looking in here and I see some aged mortgage protection mailers that are 371 of them. They're $2.50 each. And then I'm also looking over here. I see some real-time instant leads for $11. I see some new internet leads for $9. So on average, the average, is about $10 for one of these and $2.50 for one of these. So do you have a preference if you'd prefer to work a little bit more of the new leads versus the older leads?
Both. It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. Okay. So like what I'm thinking over here is we could probably spend about $500 of your budget between these instant leads and these new internet leads. And then the other $250 you could stack up on 100 of these, because at $2.50 each, you can get 100 of these, $500 worth of these, which is about 50 or so. And that's 150 leads for you to work. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So I'm gonna pretend, I'm not gonna go actually do it, but I'm gonna go pretend I'm doing it just to kind of show people how that works. So I'm adding 100 right here. I'm gonna go add to cart. So there's 100 now in the cart, and you can see that number went down. I'm gonna go grab the instants first, because those ones are brand new, instant, real time. I'm gonna add those to cart. So I got 18 of those times $11 each. That's 88. So I got about another $400 to spend here. 400 divided by $9 a lead is about 45. Let's go add another 45 to cart. All right, so I'm gonna go proceed to my cart and kind of see what we're looking at here. All right, my math is off a little bit, but hey, you don't have to be smart to make money. But What you're looking at is you got 100 of these direct mail aged mortgage leads, and then you got 45 of the new ones, which means they're anywhere from a day old to 7 days old, and then 18 of the instants, which means those are less than 24 hours old. And altogether, you're looking at $878 after everything. If you were a WorkSpots member, Henry, you'd go drop in your 30% off coupon right there, and it would take 30% off these new internet leads right here. But I don't know if you're a WorkSpots member, so that's where I'm kind of showing you, hey, you could have saved $150 here, right? So, does that make sense?
Yes.
Cool. And now the math on this 878 and these 100 and was it 63 leads, the math on this is, let me go stop sharing my screen. In order to break even, $878, in order to break even on 163 leads, guess how many you have to sell to break even? One. Now, Henry, I know you've been doing this for a little bit now, but let's pretend you were literally brand new. Tomorrow's your first dial day. Do you think you can go one for 163 even as a brand new agent?
Yes.
Cool. I think anyone can go
Yes.
one for 163. I think someone off the street. I think if you pulled someone off the street without a license and gave them 163 names, addresses, emails, and phone numbers, and say, I need you to get one of these 163 people to buy something that they asked for, I think anyone can do that, licensed or unlicensed. The thing is people start dialing a little bit, they get distracted, or they get upset because people hang up on them, and then they say these leads suck when they're 20 leads in and they got 143 leads to go, right? So that's the biggest thing I'm trying to get across to you as a new agent, to everyone as a new agent, is it doesn't matter. It literally, if you have enough leads, it literally doesn't matter if you're willing to put in the work, because it's impossible to go through 163 names with people who ask for the information and not find at least one that'll say, oh yeah, I did ask for that, sign me up, because they literally asked for it. That's why they're a lead. So does that make sense?
Yes.
Cool. Awesome. So to answer a question from Kelvin here in the chat, and thank you to the admin, you can unpin Henry. Henry, you were awesome. Clapping it up. Great
Thank you.
volunteer. Appreciate you. So Kelvin asked, when an instant lead fills out just one inquiry online, does it come directly to us, or does the inquiry form also go to other IMOs? So the instant leads are exclusive to us. What typically happens with people who are online shopping for life insurance, though, is they're filling out multiple websites. I know when I was shopping for my car insurance a few months ago, I literally searched car insurance, Dallas, Texas. I clicked on the first 5 tabs and I went and filled out every single one, and I just waited to see who called me first. And before I could even finish filling out the 5th form, I got a call and I just signed up with that guy because he called me first. But these life insurance, these instant leads, they're doing the same thing. When someone is actively shopping for life insurance, they're shopping around, they're filling out multiple websites, etc. So when you get them on the phone and they're instant, but they say, oh yeah, I've been looking around, I just talked to someone, it's just because that person called them faster than you did, and they're filling out 2, 3, 4, 5 websites. So just keep that in mind. Good question, Kelvin. You're going to get objections with every lead type, and that's what we're about to go over is phones. But does anyone have a question about leads? And does everyone, okay, before I say that, first off, anyone can go one for 163 to make their money back. You're going to make about $1,000 per sale. So that was $863, but literally anyone can go one for 163 if you're willing to put in the work and dial the phones, right? So if you're sitting back saying, ooh, I'm kind of scared to spend money on leads, I'm only going to buy, 40 aged leads because I only want to spend $200. Like, you're just making it tougher for yourself, because now you got to go one for 40, which, should you go one for 40? Absolutely. But like, statistically, who's gonna be better in the long run? Someone who has to go one for 163 or one for 40, right? Like, it's a little bit tougher to go one for 40 just because you have less opportunities. So yeah, Jacqueline, I'd recommend doing exactly what I just did to answer your question. Mix of new leads and aged leads. I think a mix of both is good. If you get all new, it gets expensive. If you get all aged, you could get discouraged on the phones. Not saying you will, but it's possible, because you're going to get a lot of objections, which is part of the business. So anyone have a question about leads, lead flow, ROI, making money, breaking even, scared to buy leads? Is there anything else about that? You can unmute, you can drop it in the chat. This is open court. So anyone else have anything to say before we talk about the phones?
If you say that the time to call is crucial, right? Because anybody can fill in out the card for 2 or 3. So whoever the called first will be the winner, right? So that means if you buy too many leads and you have no time to call them simultaneously at the same time, then that means by the time you call the 800, the lead will be old. So should you buy like?
If they're old, though, here's the thing. So if they're old, what are they going to say? This is good. This is a good transition to phone scripts. And so if someone's old, right, to use your words, and you get them on the phone and you start going through your script, what's an objection you think they might say?
Oh, I already called somebody, or somebody already called me.
Perfect. Yeah, I've already got that taken care of. Oh, life insurance. Oh yeah, I already got that. I'm good. Right? Perfect. So objection. Don posted a question. I'm gonna touch on that when we go over phone scripts. It's a good question. Thank you. Are lead costs different in different markets, such as bigger markets with more lead generation? Inside the CRM, no, Don. All the leads are the same in the CRM, the same cost. If your area in the CRM is a bit drier, that's where it may be a bit different, and you can talk to your manager, and that's where you go back to fulfillamerica.com. So Kim Ward, actually, Kim, can you unmute? This is really good because you were on this call 2 weeks ago.
Hey,
Kim,
Alex.
Hey, how you doing?
Great. Thank you.
Awesome. You were on this call 2 weeks ago, brand new agent, and I believe you were about to have your first dial day literally the next day.
Yep.
And you just posted in the chat. Tell us a little bit about your first 2 weeks of spending leads, the kind of work ethic, stuff like that.
So, going through boot camp, my husband and I committed to the process. And so we decided that we were going to spend $1,000 a week on leads, which is $500, each dial day. My first day, I dialed about 163 dials, and I wanted to cry. And if I was not around the campfire, I probably would have kicked in a wall. But I kept going, and I knew that I had to trust the process. So I went out, and yesterday was my 4th day in the field, and I'm just under $12,000 submitted with $1,500 in leads.
Awesome. Hey guys, drop a great job in the chat for Kim there. Brand new agent, trusted in the process, $500 per dial day. 156 dials, wanting to cry and throw in the towel, but sticking with it. Fast forward 2 weeks, you've written 12,000 in business. So, and I know you've been very active in Slack. You've been very active on the training calls. Like, that's the power of getting plugged in. Do you think you would have had that amount of success if you weren't as plugged in as you are with the training?
Not a chance. No.
Not a chance.
When you're around coaches and the campfire and just seeing the process work, that if it doesn't work for you, it's because you are not working the leads. You're not picking up the phone. You're not, persevering. You're not being persistent. And I love our YouTube, our boot camp. It really helped me solidify what to do when the objections come up, because they're going to. And someone just asked a great question. Some of those leads that I bought were 8 years old. And so it was just like, I know my budget's 500. I log into the CRM and I just throw numbers in different categories and I spit it out like a slot machine. I don't care what I'm going to get. I'm now prepared to work every lead that I get and resolve every lead that I get. And, we have 2 weeks, 3 weeks left in July. And I'm telling you, I'm going to do 25K this month.
I believe it. You're consistent. You're putting in the work. Every time you're dialing, you're posting in Slack. Every time you're in the field, you're posting in Slack. So you're plugged in. So I'm going to stick with you here. Start of the show tonight, because you literally implemented everything we talked about 2 weeks ago to a T. And let's do some phone script stuff. So there are two, like if you go off the example we just did with Henry, internet leads and aged mortgage leads, right? So I kind of want to go over phone scripts for both of those, but more specifically than the actual phone script, because like you said, Kim, there are first. Okay, let me share my screen first. I'm getting ahead of myself. Can't assume anything. Want to make sure everyone has every resource. So we'll come back to you in a second, Kim. Back to Kim in a second. Phone scripts. Back to fflamerica.com. There's this amazing button right here. It says phone scripts. You click the button, and here are the phone scripts. So you do not have to make it up as you go. You can say, oh, look, I'm working an internet lead. And you click on it, and you print it out, and here's your internet lead right here. Like literally here with some objections as well. Oh, I'm working some mortgage leads. It's like, oh my gosh, here is a script for mortgage leads. And it also has a final expense lead as well. Like, look how short this script is. Like, you don't have to, I mean, that's short. Like, you don't have to be memorizing pages and pages here, right? You're on the phone for 2-3 minutes max. So in terms of phone scripts, you have the resources. What I tell every single person before your first dial day, do not just print these out and read through them in your head. Say this out loud. Say it out loud 20 times. Because in your head versus out loud is two different things, 100%. You're going to read through it and almost have it memorized in your head, and then you're going to go say it first time out loud, and you're going to trip up on your words. So get ahead of that, be prepared, print out these scripts, and say them out loud. So can't say that enough. Kim, I'm going to come back to you now.
Yes, sir.
Let's go ahead and role play. I'm going to book you.
Okay.
Just because for the purposes of this, I want to make sure people kind of hear it through correctly. But I want you to throw some objections at me. I want you to throw, I'm not interested anymore. I've already got that taken care of. Somebody already called me about that, et cetera, like stuff you've been hearing, right? And don't tell me when you're going to do it, because it's not like you have a timer and it's like, like it just happens, right? So we're going to go through a phone script. We'll do the internet phone script first. I'm going to book you, and feel free to throw whatever you want at me. So, okay.
Okay.
All right. Ring, ring.
Hello?
Hey, Kim.
Yes.
Hey, Kim, this is Alex, and I'm just getting back to you about this online request we got for a life insurance quote here in Dallas County. And I'm just the underwriter. It's been assigned to your case. I was just calling to confirm the information. Looks like you put down your date of birth as 8/16/1967. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. And are you still over at the 123 Main Street in Dallas?
I am.
Okay. Is that a house or is that an apartment?
It's a house.
It's a house. Okay. And were you looking for the coverage just for yourself, or did you have a spouse as well?
Well, I have a spouse, but he's covered through his retirement program, so probably just myself.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. Because these are state regulated programs, they do like to make sure that both you and the spouse are involved. I'm also assuming that if something happened to one of the two of you, that the other person would be affected. So have you guys been looking for the life insurance before, or is this your first time checking it out?
No, this is my first time, but I was really kind of hoping that I could do this without my husband having to be here.
Gotcha. Totally understand. Yeah. They do just make us go over everything together, just because it is an important financial decision. And like I said, my job, I'm just the underwriter. So there's no like nurses or needles or anything. They just have me bring out the information and review it with you guys. It's super simple. It takes like 10-15 minutes. And then whatever you guys do with it is entirely up to you. So in terms of scheduling, are you and your husband, you guys still working, or are you retired?
He's retired. I work from home.
Okay, gotcha. So work from home, in terms of flexibility, is it like, can you meet during the day or after business hours typically better?
No, I'm pretty flexible.
Pretty flexible, okay. And then for your retired husband, any doctor's appointments or anything? They got me in the area the next, let's see, tomorrow and Tuesday. So any doctor's appointments or prior commitments for your husband the next 2 days?
No, nope.
Okay, gotcha, perfect. And our mornings, afternoons, or evenings usually a better time to catch you guys?
Oh gosh, probably like early afternoon.
Early afternoon. Okay, gotcha. Early afternoon's a pretty popular slot. So they got me seeing about 15 families. So I'm gonna have to squeeze you in. But I got tomorrow at 1 p.m. or I've got at 2:15. What's better for you and your husband?
Alex, right? I think, maybe just send me something in the mail. That would be a lot easier.
Man, if I could send you something in the mail, that'd make my job 10 times easier. But because they are state regulated, they do make me verify your identity just to make sure there's no identity theft going on, no insurance fraud. It's really more for your protection than mine. Because, and like I said, I can only stay for 10-15 minutes because they got me seeing like a dozen families. So, so just going back to the scheduling, if I had to swing them by for 10 minutes, is 1 p.m. or 2:15 better for you?
Yeah, let's do the 1 p.m.
1 p.m. Okay, gotcha, perfect. And when I punch in the 123 Main Street into my GPS, is it easy to find? Are there any gates, gate codes, anything like that?
Nope, super easy.
Super easy to find. Okay, gotcha. Are the numbers on the house? Is it like on the house? Is it on the curb? Is there a mailbox? Like, how will I know I'm at the right house?
It's on our mailbox and we have a really, really long driveway. So you're going to have to drive up the driveway.
Okay, gotcha, perfect. And then in terms of reminders, do you typically write things down or do you have a calendar you work off of?
Totally pen and paper.
Pen and paper. Okay, gotcha. Go ahead and grab a pen and paper real quick for me. I just need you to jot down 2 things and no rush. I'll wait while you get it. No rush.
I'm actually ready now.
Okay, gotcha. So first off, my name was Alex, Alex, and got you and your husband down for tomorrow at 1 p.m. And then Kim, I just want to make sure, since they do got me seeing so many families, I could be there as early as noon or as late as 2, just depending on how the day is going. But you said you'll be home, right? Pretty flexible.
Now you sound like the cable guy, 12 to 4. No, we'll be home, man.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'm just trying to do you a favor. So if I do show up a little bit early or late, you're not upset. You understand. I just want to make sure we get all the families serviced. Seeing about 15 families tomorrow. So, and then for your husband, what was his name, just in case he answers the door?
His name is Rich.
His Rich. Okay, gotcha. Perfect. Well, Kim, I'll be driving up in a white Kia, about 6'1", blonde hair, look a little goofy. So when you see me walking up, I promise I'm pretty harmless. You can put the shotgun away. Okay.
Okay, sounds good, man. See you
All
tomorrow.
right, Kim. Hey, you got it. Let's look forward to meeting you and Rich and helping you guys out.
Thank you.
All right, click. All right, so one objection you did not throw at me, but that's common for internet leads, in my opinion, is that I've already got that taken care of. Have you ever gotten that, Kim?
For internet leads, I have not. Not yet.
Really? Oh, okay, cool. We gotta get you doing more dials. I'm just kidding.
Yes.
So I know for me, that's probably the top objection I get is, oh yeah, I've already got that. Nope, nope, I'm good. Take me off your list, all that kind of stuff. So whenever I get anything along those lines, my go-to response and the mindset for this kind of objection is like, you're almost kind of like a UPS delivery driver, where like they ordered something, like who cares if they're not interested or not? Like, I'm just doing my job. I just got to get you the info. Like, I'm not here to, I'm not trying to sell you over the phone or anything right now. Like, I'm just giving you a courtesy that I'm in your area tomorrow and I'm swinging by morning or afternoon, right? UPS guy doesn't care if you're not interested in that package. You could deal with that once you get it. Like, go return to sender. Like, who cares? They don't care. They're just trying to schedule delivery, right? It's kind of the same mindset. So whenever someone tells me I'm not interested anymore, or, oh, I've already got that taken care of. Hey, perfect. I'm not interested either. They just make me get this information out to you because at some point it was requested, and it takes about 10 minutes, and that's how we get your name off the list. Otherwise, you're going to keep getting these phone calls. So, or mornings or afternoons typically better for you. I mean, I guess mornings, but man, like you're just wasting your time. Like, there's no need for you to come out. Like, you just take me off the list. Perfect, man. I wish I could, but this is how they do it. Is they make me come on by and physically bring you the information, and then your name's off the list and you stop getting phone calls from us forever. So like I said, it takes 10 minutes. I can't stay long. It got me seeing dozen families. So are you still, so you said mornings typically, is it like 9 a.m. or 11 a.m.? What's better for you? I don't know if I want to commit to a time. Like I'm really like, I've already got that taken care of. Hey, that's perfect, man. For whatever reason, it's still not resolved in our system. So they got me out there to get it resolved and then get your name off the list. It takes 10 minutes. I'm going to put you down for the 9 a.m. Any reason you want to be home? Like, over and over and over again, you keep going back to the point of like, you don't care. Like who cares? Like, I don't care. I don't care about your personal life. I don't care what's going on. Like, there was information requested. You got a lead here. It's not resolved. You're just trying to get the information and get it off your hands, literally, right? And like that kind of transparency, people like that. Like, people want to meet with the guy that's going to stop getting them phone calls. People don't want to meet with the guy shoving insurance down their throat, you know? So when people start saying, oh, well, I'm an A-rated broker and I work with a dozen companies, like, they don't care because they've already got it taken care of. So I personally don't use those kind of objections to overcome, because they don't want to be sold. They already got sold. All that they want is they want their darn name off the list. So that's exactly why I'm calling. I'm trying to get your name off the list. That's why I'm coming by tomorrow at 9. We're going to review everything, make sure you were set up in the best position, and get your name off the list. Oh, okay. So does that make sense?
Absolutely.
So Ruthie asked, what do you need to cross my name from the list? I mean, it's not like I'm physically crossing them off the list, Ruthie. It's just like, if you have 163 leads like Henry Coleman, like, I don't want to waste my time calling the people that aren't serious. So I'm just trying to get in the homes and figure out if they're buying or not. Like, that's 163 potential sales. So they're either buyers or they're not. So, everyone always says, take me off the list. That's kind of what we're referring to. So, does that make sense, Kim?
Absolutely.
Okay, cool. Awesome. Appreciate you being so brave and volunteering here. Well, we do that. So, and for just so you guys know, for mortgage leads, like aged mortgage, phone script's the exact same, except for the beginning part. Hey, Kim. Hey, Kim, this is Alex. I'm just getting back to you about this mortgage protection card that was filled out a long time ago and sent back in the mail. Wow, that was forever ago. Perfect purpose of my call. Looks like for whatever reason, it was just never taken care of in our system. So they got me out there just to get that information you requested all that time ago. It takes 15 minutes. You could use it over and over. It doesn't matter the lead type, doesn't matter if it's brand new, it doesn't matter if it's old. And to answer the gentleman's question from earlier about, well, what if the leads go bad because you're busy calling so many leads? So that's what they're going to say. And now you're prepared because that's what they're going to say. So someone go ahead, drop in the comments or unmute or something. What are some other objections you guys have gotten on the phone that maybe need a little bit of help with, or something that's come up you've gotten stuck with? Who wants to be a brave soul and unmute themselves and go ahead and do that? If not, I'm going to pick on someone. So
well, I'm not interested.
I'm not interested. Hey, perfect. I'm not interested either. They just make me bring by this information. Otherwise, you're going to keep getting these phone calls. It takes about 10 minutes. I can't stay long. So are you still working or are you retired?
I'm retired.
Retired. Perfect. Since you're not interested and you're retired, I'm definitely don't want to hold up your day. So our mornings or afternoons typically better for you?
Well, I don't know what I'll be home because I'm always in and out. So I don't know. Why don't you send it to me?
Why don't you send it in the mail? Is that what you said, sir?
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah. I wish I could, because that would make my job like 10 times easier, but because they are state regulated, they do make me verify your ID just to make sure there's no identity theft. It's really more to protect you than it is for me, because it's very inconvenient for me. But they already got me out in the area. So if I were to swing by tomorrow between 9 and 11 a.m.
Okay, can I call you? Can you give me text me your number? I'll give you a call when I'm home.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'm gonna be at your home tomorrow between 9 and 11 a.m. Is there any reason you wouldn't be home?
I don't know. Like I said, I'm in and out of the house. Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Cool. Well, I'm just gonna put you down. I'm gonna be in the area all day, so I'm gonna swing on by between 9 and 11. I'm about 6'1", and I'm blonde. And so if you see someone who's 6'1" and blonde walk into your front door, you'll know it's me. And I'm just gonna swing on by since they make me bring out this information.
Okay, can you call me before you come out? Can you call me before you come out?
I'll do my best. They got me seeing about 15 families, but I will do my best to call you before. But if I don't, I'm just telling you now, I'm already going to be there between 9 and 11. So I'm just giving you a heads up. Is that fair?
Okay.
Okay, gotcha. Perfect. All right. Have a good night. And then so for someone like that, that would be like a soft appointment. So I'm not going to like go out of my way to go to that one. But if I got nothing else on my calendar, why not just show up? Like you're already going to be in the area. Like all these leads that, Henry just bought, right? All in the same county. So you're driving no more than 30 minutes, 40 minutes, and that's from end to end on the county. So why would you not just put them in as a soft drop by in the morning? And if you get a couple no-shows or if you have a big gap in your schedule, just show up. Who cares, right? Not every appointment is going to be rock solid like the one we just did with Kim. And I'd rather have 8 rock solid and 10 drop-bys than 8 rock solid and 0 drop-bys, where people aren't expecting me to come, et cetera, et cetera. So does that make sense?
Okay, what about like I'm driving? I'm driving. Can you call me back?
Oh, perfect. I'm not gonna hold you up then. I'm just letting you know I'm coming by tomorrow to bring by some information that was requested
Well, I
online.
said I'm
Are
driving.
mornings or afternoons better for you?
Well, I'm driving. I can talk now. Can you call me
Yeah,
back?
perfect.
Okay.
Hey, we're
Okay.
talking right
Okay.
now.
Thank
Are
you. Bye.
mornings or afternoons better for you? Cool. And then they hang up the phone. That's fine.
Yeah, they hung up the
Right?
phone. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. But you go for the quick set, right? Oh, perfect. You're
Okay.
driving. Perfect. I don't have a lot of time either. Are mornings or afternoons a better time to drop by delivery for you? Typically mornings. Great. I'm gonna be in your
Mornings.
area all day tomorrow morning. My name is Alex. I'm 6'1" and blonde, and I'll swing by tomorrow morning for 10 minutes. Well, what was this about? Well, I know you're driving. You don't have a lot of time right now, but this was about the, you can almost throw it back at them, right? So,
Yeah.
the quick sets. Sometimes you go for quick sets. Um, so any other questions? Objection. I already got some insurance through someone, so I'm good. Perfect. I'm really glad we got that set. For whatever reason, though, it's still not resolved in our file. So they just got me out there just to get your name off the list, to get everything resolved. It takes about 10 minutes. Are you still working or retired?
How about I didn't fill that out.
Perfect. I honestly, I don't even remember what I had for breakfast, and so I don't blame you if you don't remember. But for whatever reason, we got an open file here, and they make me bring this information. Otherwise, you keep getting these calls. It takes about 10 minutes. Are you still working or retired? I'm always going back to just trying to resolve the lead, right? Get them off the list. So that's my go-to because it works for almost every objection. So my daughter says it's not a good idea. I already spoke to her about it. That's a tough one. That's a tough one because in that situation, it sounds like that person's not the decision maker, the daughter is. And I never want to sit down with someone who's not the decision maker. So that's someone that I may not even want to meet with unless I can get the daughter there or get the daughter on the phone. And if the daughter was already saying, I don't think it's a good idea, you're probably better off you drop buying on that one maybe, but you got 162 other leads to go. So like I don't want to sit with someone who's not a decision maker. You're wasting your time. So I don't want no one coming to the house. Perfect. I'm actually really glad you brought that up. They do make me verify your ID. And so what I'm going to go ahead and do is you can go ahead and show me your ID through the window. And that way I know that you are who you say that you are. And then I'll go sit in my car. We'll do the whole thing over the phone. But I'll also show you my state license through the window. That way you know you're not dealing with a scammer. Does that sound fair? When do you give up on leads? How many hangups or dials? I don't, Lauren. I just keep dialing until I get my 15 appointments. And then just like Kim, I'm buying leads twice a week. So it's not that I give up on a lead, it's just eventually they get buried. But that's okay because you spend 1,500 to write 12,000. Who cares about lead number 73 that didn't pick up the phone 20 times? You know, you just keep going. Buy another batch, you write another 5,000-6,000, you keep going. So this is good. I take a lot of medications now and I don't think I will get any coverage. Perfect. I'm really glad you brought that up. Like I said, I'm just the underwriter, so it's just my job to bring by the information. Whatever you do with it is entirely up to you. But for whatever reason, this file is still open, so they do make me at least bring the information for you. It takes about 10 minutes. Are you still working or retired? Do you redial the same day? Yes. Good point, Vanilla. Triple dial every single lead, so 3 times in a row. So if I got a lead here, pushing the numbers in, I click the green button, ring, 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 no one picks up, I hang up. I don't leave a voicemail, I just hang up. I redial them right away, ring, 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 hang up. Redial them right away, ring, 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 hang up, and then I send a text message. And text message is literally like, Alex, this is, Kim, this is Alex, getting back to you about the life insurance quote. I'm in your area tomorrow to bring by the information, 9 a.m. or 11 a.m., which is better for you. And you'll get 2 or 3 people to respond back via text on your dial day. So if you're booked 16 appointments, probably 12 or 13 are over the phone and 3 or 4 are via text. So, excuse me. Can you Zoom and verify that way? Yes, just not recommended, Joseph. Think about it. If they're already so skeptical that they don't even want you coming out, what are the odds that they're actually going to give you their social, their bank account, etc., if you don't build that trust in person? So a lot better to get in front of them, build that rapport in person. So phone burner strategy. So phone burner, good point. Let's go ahead and talk about phone burner. Look at you guys. You guys are guiding the call now. We'd love to see it. So phone burner, for those of you who do not know what phone burner is, phone burner is a power dialer that you can sign up for and buy, where you can dial internet leads. Emphasis on internet leads. You can only use internet leads with phone burner. Cannot use aged mortgage, cannot use aged final expense, has to be internet leads for legal purposes. But if you love buying instant internet, new internet, internet 1 month, internet 3 months out of the CRM, then you could use internet leads with this power dialer. This website has all the information on it, so I'm not going to spend too much time on it, but the website is phone burner agency training.com. phone burner agency training.com. Someone wants to drop that in the chat. I'm sure people would appreciate it. It's like anywhere from 100 to 150 bucks a month. You upload your list of leads to it, you click go, and it'll do about $70 to $80 an hour. So my phone burner strategy is use it. If you're using especially exclusive, like if you like just love your internet leads, use phone burner. I like aged mailers a lot, so I don't use, thank you Katie for putting that in the chat. I don't use phone burner as much because I like aged mailers. I like being able to reference the handwriting on the mailer if they start getting antsy with me. Yeah, I'm reading your handwriting. I can't tell if that's a 1 or a 7. Is that 1971 or 1977? Oh, okay, got it. Like, come on, who's gonna argue? I'm literally looking at your handwriting. I'll send you a picture right now, right? So I like doing the aged mailers, which is why I don't use phone burner a lot. But if you love internet leads, it's a no-brainer. You do $80 an hour. So I do want to touch on in-home. So if there's any more questions about phones, then feel free to drop them in the chat. If not, drop a 3 if you guys are ready to go over the in-home real quick. I want to try to wrap this up so we're not too long over an hour. So, okay, love it, in-home. Okay, all right, so for the in-home, as a new agent, in your first 10, count them, 10 appointments, you should let your manager know what your schedule is, what time you're going to be in the home, let them know you're going to be calling them in the home. For your first 10 appointments minimum, your manager needs to be there for you. And if you don't feel like your manager is responding, reach out to me personally. I'll help you out, right? But the in-home is very, very simple. The mentality is, again, we are not salespeople. Salespeople are the people that stand in the mall and try to get you to buy their shoe shiner, right? They didn't ask for it, so you got to sell them on it. We are just responding to people. They have already asked for our help. We already got them on the phone. We already let them know that we were coming over, and they just let a stranger into their house. Like, you're 90% of the way there, right? Obviously, it's on their mind, and they're pretty serious about it if they let you in the home. So my whole mindset is just figure out what they're looking for and then fill the need in the home. And so the way I do that, when I walk in, they get all settled down. So Paul, I'm going to use you because I see you've been really engaged for this whole thing. So Paul, if you want to unmute, we're going to role play. Hey, how you doing, bro?
Doing good, man. How are you, Alex?
Good. Where are you based out of?
Corpus Christi, Texas.
Nice. I'm your neighbor. I don't know if that's, I'm in Dallas. I don't know which direction that is, but
I think you're northeast. Yes, sir.
love it. Cool. So Paul, so we're going to role play just the first 5 minutes of the in-home. Is that fair?
Sounds good.
Cool. Hey, Paul. So like I mentioned, I'm Alex. I'm here because there was a request sent into our office for some life insurance. So let me ask you, Paul, what exactly were you looking for when you took the time to fill that out?
Yeah, I was just kind of thinking, my work doesn't really offer any kind of life insurance and haven't had it before. And I've been just getting older, thinking I probably need to get something set up.
Who would be affected if you didn't have the life insurance? Who are you trying to protect here?
My wife and my son.
Wife and your son. Is that's you right there, Mary? Cool. I never do a meeting if they're not both there. So I'm assuming Paul, Mary, Paul. Cool. Awesome. Gotcha. And then how old's your son?
He's 14.
14. Nice. So he's still here in the household?
Yes, sir.
Nice. Okay, cool. And so let me ask you, Mary, do you already have some life insurance, or are we like just Paul? Like what are we looking at? No, I don't have anything either. Gotcha. Okay. So respectfully, Paul, Mary, like, why have you guys waited so long to get this? You have a 14-year-old.
That's a great question. I wish I had an answer for you. It's just been something I just really haven't thought too much about, and yeah, that's all I got really for that.
Gotcha. What would your life look like if, like, God forbid something did happen yesterday? Like, how would your life be affected if you guys didn't have this in place?
Oh man, it'd be horrific. I don't even want to imagine that. I don't even know if I'd be able to stay in this home, and I don't have money like that saved away to pay for an untimely funeral. So it'd be a disaster.
Mhm. Are you guys pretty dependent on each other's incomes? You guys rely on each other a lot?
Yeah, we pretty much go 50-50 down on all the bills and everything. So we rely on each other greatly.
Gotcha. So kind of similarly, if something happened to you, Mary would be really affected, and something happened to Mary, you'd be pretty affected. Is that right?
Definitely.
Okay, gotcha. Well, I can see exactly why I'm here. So I'm really glad, appreciate you opening up, and I can see exactly why I'm here, and I think we're gonna be able to help you guys. I get that peace of mind, so this will be good. So so what they have me doing, Paul and Mary, just so you know how this goes today. They got me working. This is where I would already have this ready, but I'm just like in the moment. I'm like, so first off, fflamerica.com, click on presentation. There are 20 videos all about the in-home presentations, but what I just did in that first 3-4 minutes was I found the why. I made it important. I made it real. I wasn't asking about their dog. I wasn't asking about the weather. Did you go boating last weekend? Like, no, let's get down to business. Let's find the pain. And if we could find the pain, find the why, and I could show them why I'm here, all of a sudden they're gonna be like, all right, this guy means business, and he sounds like he can help me because he knows what he's talking about. Even if you have no idea what I'm talking about. Like anyone could do what I just did. I wasn't talking about products there. I wasn't talking about America there. Like I was just asking about their life and how their situation would look. Anyone can do that, right? Even including you as a brand new agent, literally anyone. So at that point, I'd be like, all right, Paul and Mary, I see exactly why I'm here. So just so you know how I can help you, I'm a licensed agent here in Texas. Here's my state license. I would show them my state license. And they got me working with over a dozen different companies. That way, instead of just like shoving you into one company, like just State Farm or just Allstate, we get to kind of shop around a little bit, find what makes the most financial sense for you guys. We really focus on mortgage protection, life insurance, and retirement planning. Obviously, for you guys, we're going to focus a little bit more on that life insurance today. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir. Definitely.
Okay, cool. So in order to figure out of all these different companies, the 40 plus options from all these companies, which one makes the most financial sense for you guys, got this sheet here that we're going to fill out together. It'll probably take us about 2 minutes to go through some health questions, 2 minutes to go through some money questions. This will give me a better understanding of your guys' situation. And then after that, we're going to go back to this sheet, pick 2 or 3 options together that make the most financial sense. And we're going to submit a request for coverage where they're going to ask for your date of birth. They're going to ask for your social. They're going to ask for your beneficiary, who's getting the money. They're going to ask for your payment method. They're going to ask for all that to make sure you're serious. And we're going to submit that request for coverage application to see if you can get approved. No blood work, no follow-up. And all together, by the time I walk out this door, in about 20-30 minutes, you guys should have your peace of mind. So does that sound fair?
Yeah, that sounds good. I didn't really think I was gonna have to give out that information, but I mean that's fair enough.
Yeah, so just like, I mean, so there's a lot of insurance companies out there and anyone can give quotes, Paul, but a quote is no good until you know if you can get approved for it. Because, I people on TV, they throw out all the time $1 million for $10 a month, right? But we're not all triathlon athletes. Not everyone can qualify for that. So the reason they ask for all that information is because we do have to actually see if you qualify and make sure it makes financial sense for you guys. And that's how they verify you guys are serious and that we find something that makes sense for you guys and makes sense for the insurance company. So does that sound fair?
Okay, yeah. Thanks for explaining that. Yeah, that definitely makes sense. So yeah,
Perfect.
definitely.
Okay, may I proceed?
Absolutely.
Perfect. And then I would dive right into the sheet. I would fill it out by literally just reading the words. I don't get creative. I just read it out and fill it down. And when I get to the very bottom of all this, I would sit down with you guys and I would go, I'm going to stop sharing so you guys can see. So I'm going to look at the sheet and I'm like, all right, guys, well, a couple different options we have here. I think I have a good idea of what we're going to do, but just to make sure I put you all in the best position, I'm going to call my senior underwriter and just get a second opinion, just to make sure we're putting you in the best position. So let me make a couple calls real quick. It's taking me just a few moments. And you're going to call your manager who knows you're in the home because you told them before you're going in the home. And if they didn't respond, you're going to the next person or the next person. Like, you just be communicative with us. We want to help you. And you're going to call and say, hey, Alex, I'm sitting here with Paul and Mary. Just wanted to run something by you. Do you have a moment? Perfect. And you're just going to read through the sheet. I'm going to tell you Americo Eagle for him, Americo Eagle for her. If decline, go to Aetna. And if you have no idea what that means, you're still going to sit there and you're going to go, perfect. That's exactly what I was thinking. Thank you for confirming that. Have a great day, Alex. I'll call you if I need help. And they're going to sit there, and Paul and Mary are going to be like, this guy knows his stuff. Like, man, like, he's going the extra step for me. He picked the right product for me, even if you had no idea. And that's why you don't need to worry about the products. There's whole life and there's term. Your manager can walk you through it. There's a video in boot camp, but products is like 2% of this thing. Because if you can get good on the phones, if you can get in the home, you could do what I just did in that 5 minutes where you just let them know you're going to work for them with the sheet and you're going to fill it out and call a manager. Anyone can do that. All right. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
Cool. So Paul, have you started running appointments yet?
I haven't. Actually thinking this Thursday is going to be my first dial day. I do have some questions about carriers, but if there's questions at the end, I'll wait for that to ask you. But no, I haven't. I'm extremely motivated. I've been plugged into everything, watching every video on every call, and extremely motivated to help others and also, you know, provide for my family. So I'm really motivated.
Love it, man. Corpus Christi in the house. That's great.
Yes,
So cool. So yeah, man. Your first dial day is Thursday. What's your lead budget?
I'm looking to spend anywhere from 1,000 to maybe 1,250. If no, yep,
So you're trying to write 5,000 to 8,000 your first week with that. Is that about right?
absolutely.
Cool. Awesome. I don't know what it looks like in Corpus Christi, but reach out to your manager for lead strategy call, get their opinion on it. And if you ever need a second opinion, call your senior underwriter. You can reach out to me and I'll help you out. 163 instant leads in Corpus Christi. So according to Shane Hudson. So
Nice.
I'd get them while they're there, you know, and if they're 3 or 4 days old, you know how to overcome that now. All right. Perfect.
Absolutely.
I'm really glad you got that taken care of. For whatever reason, it's not resolved in our system. So they got me out there just to make sure everything was done all right. It takes 10 minutes and we'll get you off our list. Super
Perfect.
nonchalant, super non-threatening, just doing, I'm just out there. I'm just a good company man, just doing my thing. Right. So cool. Thank you, Paul, for volunteering as tribute. And for
Thank
the
you.
in-home, we're gonna make sure Paul and Mary are taken care of. That's good. Last thing I want to say to everyone is save your e-app links. Every single company, when they gave you an agent number, also gave you an e-app link or a back office link. Go to your emails and save those links. Because when I say Americo Eagle and you say, okay, where do I go to do that? You just lost all your credibility. All right. You were looking so good, you were so organized, and then you don't know how to even log in and you don't know where to go or anything like that because you've never saved it, you've never logged in before. Like, not a good look. So save those e-app links. That's just the minor stuff. So with that being said, I know it's late. If there are any other questions, I could stay on as long as you guys want to answer people's questions. That's the bulk of everything. So if you want to hop off, I appreciate you tuning in tonight. But if you want to stick around and ask some questions, I'll stay here as long as we need to make sure everyone is prepared for dial day tomorrow. So what do you guys got for me? Anything else?
Real quick, since how many carriers do you think one should have before they start writing business? Would it just be 2 or 3 and get going, or what do you think?
So I would say as long as you have something else other than just AIG. If you only have AIG, probably should wait for at least one more. But if you have Americo, go. If you have Prosperity, go. If you have Americo and AIG, go. You got Prosperity and AIG, go. Those are usually the first 3 to come back, are those 3. So as long as you have something other than AIG, go.
Got it. Yeah, I just got approved with Americo, and AIG should be coming. So
you're ready then. You're ready. Americo is about 60% of our business, 50-60%. So
right. Awesome. Thank you.
You got it. Kelvin asked, how do we explain all the benefits when we don't know all of them off the top of our head? Kelvin, would you be okay unmuting? I just want to make sure I understand your question here. So are you unmuted? All right, give me a sec, he said. Off the top, let me know when you're unmuted, man. But off the top of my head, like whole life is permanent. So if I'm sitting down with Mary, 72 years old, and my manager tells me to write Americo Eagle whole life, I'm gonna let them know, all right, we're gonna look at Americo Eagle whole life. It's permanent. So it'll definitely be in place when you die. It's guaranteed to pay out, it doesn't expire. That's it. That's what they want to know. They want to know if the money is going to go to their family. If you're sitting down with a 37-year-old with a mortgage and your manager says, right, Americo term 125, and you don't know what that means, but they say term insurance, right? Yep, term insurance. All right, Mark, this is term insurance. So it's going to expire at the end of your mortgage. 20, 25, 30 years. You select it right there in the application. That way you don't have to worry about it being permanent. Otherwise it costs way too much. So we're just gonna make sure your mortgage is covered. So outside of that, like the nitty gritty product details, Kelvin, like if you set it up correctly, people just don't ask. You know, you solve their need, right? They want to cover their burial, you show them 20,000, 25,000, they're happy. Their burial's covered. They don't need to know about whole life, cash value, all that kind of stuff. Like they just don't care. They just want to know their burial's taken care of. Same thing for term. So does that answer your question, Kelvin, if you're unmuted? All right. Hernandez Robbins, do we make appointments on the hour? I know most say they have 15 appointments for the day. I would say about an hour is good. 15 appointments for a day, no. Usually it's about 8 in a day, 8 to 10. And I would say an hour is good, but more importantly, like I did with Kim, give yourself a window. So don't say, I will see you at 2:30 on the dot. Like, no. Like, hey, I got you in at 2:30. Could be a crazy day. It got me seeing so many families. Could be there as early as 1:30 or as late as 3:30. Any reason that wouldn't work for you? Or you said you'll be home, right? So I like to give myself a window. 30 minutes sometimes, an hour other times. But windows will, trust me guys, windows will save your life and save yourself from a lot of unhappy people when you get to the door. You said 2:30 and it's 2:37. Like if you didn't give a window, it looks bad. But if you said you'll be there by 3:30 at the latest and it's 2:37, you're in your window. So just give yourself a window and you'll be good. You'll make your appointments. Sweet keys to keep it simple. Sorry, I'm having tech issues. All good. Yep, keep it simple, Kelvin. If you really do have questions, you can call your manager. And like when I was brand new, I put Grady Polson on speakerphone. It was after like I called him 4 times in a row. And hey, they had a question about this. We'll tell them this. Da, 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 da. Well, they had a question about this. All right, put me on speakerphone. So like if it really comes to that, we will walk you through it and help you out. But most of the time, people just want to know that something's going to be there when something happens. So keep it simple. You have to account for traffic as well. That's why you give a window. You got into the home of person that said they were taken care of. How do you handle it? Well, on the phone, I said, perfect. Really glad you got that taken care of. They just need me to come on by, make sure everything was set up correctly. It'll get you off our list. So our morning or afternoon is better for you. So when I get to the door, I'm going to treat it like a normal appointment. But if they bring it up, oh yeah, perfect. You said you already had it taken care of, right? Go ahead and grab your policy. I'm just going to review that real quick, make sure everything was set up correctly and you're in the best position. They go grab their policy, shop around, try to find the need more. Well, oh wow, they got you you're 59 years old and they got you 100,000 for the mortgage. What do you have for your final expenses? Do you have something that's permanent? This one's going to expire. You don't have anything permanent for your final expenses. I could see exactly why I'm here. Go into it. So just finding the why, building that rapport when you're in the home. Sometimes, Paul, sometimes you're in and out of the home in 5 minutes. Sometimes there is nothing you can do. And like they are really set up well. They are not receptive at all. Cool. That's why I get 8 to 10 appointments in a day. Go on to the next one. But usually if you get in the home, they're pretty receptive. You find the why, build the need, build value, use your companies, right? Use the credibility sheet, etc. And that'll be good. So good question, Paul. What else we got? Carmen, how do we do a policy review? So literally, I get them to physically go up and grab their policy. Oh, it's I don't know where it is. It's buried away. Yeah, they make me review it to get you off the list here to make sure it's set up okay. So that's okay. I'll wait while you do it. I'm just going to go set up something on my computer here while you go grab that. And just like stare at your screen and start setting up an e-app, and they're going to like get up out of their seat and go find it. like awkward silence, but it works. So new agent training every Sunday, same content. Yes, correct. Next week, I should have plugged this. Next week is Jen Okoro, Hall of Fame producer last year. Yeah, she's pretty awesome. So next week, Jen's going to be doing this call. So you'll get to hear her perspective from mine and see why she's 10 times better than I am. So, so every single Sunday, it's this new agent content, really, really focusing hard on staying plugged in, leads, phones, and in-home. So just what you need to know to get out there and start making money. So good question. What else we got?
Hey, Alex.
49. Yeah, what's up?
There was another question earlier from Shawan. It said, what do you do if they won't give you their social security number?
So Shawan, I've never run into that because because of the way I set it up. And usually it's not the social, it's the bank account. But the setup is so important, Shawan. So if you get there, start asking about the why, find the need, build the value. I could see exactly why I'm here today. Well, let me show you, I can help you. Show them the credibility sheet with all the companies on it. Show them the financial inventory and say, we're going to fill this form out together. Once we fill this out, we're going to find the best option for you out of all these companies. We're going to agree together on something that makes financial sense. And then we're going to submit a request for coverage where they're going to ask for your name, your date of birth, your social. They're going to ask for your beneficiary, who you want the money going to. They're going to ask for a payment method to validate you have a legit bank account. If you say all this up front, you're not going to get to the application, ask for the social, and then they're going to say no. They're going to say it right there up front. They're going to say, well, why do you need that? Well, Mary, this like Paul did, right? Well, Mary, this is a request for coverage. These are insurance companies, and they have to figure out if they want to insure you or not. So to do that, we have to get them all the information for them to make a decision. So good news is they give you some time to make a decision as well, but that's why they have us go through and get everything submitted, because let's be honest, a quote is no good if you can't get approved. That's why we have to submit it to see if you qualify. So does that make sense? Perfect. So that's yeah, if you're going to get it though, Shawan, if you set it up like that, that's when you're going to get it. You're going to get it up front right then, not 15, 20, 30 minutes down the road when they're not going to give you their bank account and you wasted 30 minutes. You got to set it up like that, and there's a lot less objections.
So if they don't give it to you, just leave the home, because that's what I've run into twice.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, Shawan, they make me do this, and so like we can save each other a lot of time and just work together here, and that way I can get your family protected, or I can go to the next family. What would you prefer? Well, you're not getting that info out of me. Cool, we'll have a good night. You know, pack it up and you're out of there, and that's good. Because would you rather know right then and there, 5 minutes in, or would you rather know 45 minutes in after you've gone through Americo and Aetna and you get all the way to the bank account and they won't give it to you, right? So I'd rather know 5 minutes in and leave than waste 45, 60 minutes at home and not get a sale. So I've done that. And sometimes packing it up, all of a sudden they'll say, well, Mary, I'm leaving. So like, we're either doing this our way, we're like, we get you approved, we protect your family, or I'm out of here. What do you want to do? Okay, all right, we'll do it. Oh, okay. Change of heart. So Ruthie, I see your hands up. What's up, Ruthie?
Alex, I did 2 phone calls today. And so first one, and so she said, I did not figure out the request. I did not make the request. And then I tried to follow our script and just a couple of sentences, and she hung up.
Yep. So
that's the first one. And the second one, I called, she said, I did not fill in the request. And I already have insurance. And
perfect.
And then what else? She said that she's and I tried to think about our objection. So I said, get your file resolved and off the system. And she asked, what do you need to cross my name to get it closed?
Yep. I need to come out and verify that everything was set up correctly and deliver the information because it is state regulated. And then once we go over that in person, then I can cross your name off the list. And same thing for that first person, like perfect for whatever reason, file is still open. So they got me out there just to bring the information and close your file. So, and it's not going to work every time, Ruthie. I'd say it probably works 1 in 4 times, 1 in 5, 1 in 4 times. So 75, 80% of the time, they're still going to be hanging up on you. Like, it just is what it is. Like, sometimes people just don't want to hear it, but you get 1 in 5 to do that. You get 20 people on the phone. That's 4 appointments that you got that you wouldn't have had, right? So it adds up over time, but most of the time, if someone is giving objections, most of the time you're not going to get them. That's just, they're just not interested. They literally tell you that, right? So it's just a matter of working through those ones to find the ones that will actually hear you out. So
for this kind, we just pass them, right?
yeah. So for those ones that like hung up on you, you could try calling again tomorrow. And I would also add them to a drop by list. Anyone, like, I don't resolve a lead and call them that they're no good until they tell me face to face in person no. If they tell me I'm not interested, take me off your damn list, click. You go show up at their house, say, hey, I'm here for that request, and they're like, oh, I've been waiting for you guys to call, come on in. And it's just like, they just thought maybe you were something else. Maybe you thought you were the car warranty people. Like, they don't know, right? So I don't resolve a lead until I go face to face and show them face to face that I'm here with your request that you sent in. This is your date of birth. This is your house. You are you. I am me. Let's do this. Shoes on or off. Nope. Slam door in face. All right. Now I'm going to resolve that lead. So.
Okay.
Lead's not gone until you get a door slammed in your face. So.
So that's done.
That's
Okay.
that. Then it's done. At that point, it's done. Yeah. But if they just tell you not interested, click. Maybe you can call them back later that day. Maybe you call them next dial day. But now you know when you call them that they're going to say that, right? So you're ready for it. You know they're going to say that. So you call back 3 days later. You're going through the script. They say not interested. I know they're not interested because they told me 3 days ago they weren't. I'm back at it. Like, who cares? Just keep going. So, yeah.
Okay. Because we have a lot of more have not called yet, so we just leave it.
Yeah. Yeah. So don't prioritize that person, right? But if you get to the end of your list, you start back at the top. 2 options: start back at the top and go through it again, or buy more leads. So, but yeah, just because they hang up on you one time does not mean like I've probably sold from people that have hung up on me that I booked either later via text, booked later via phone call, or just dropped by and sold. I've probably written in my career 50 grand off of people that hung up on me at least once. Like, it means nothing. You caught them at a bad time. They don't understand the importance of it. They're not face to face with you. Whatever it is, it happens, but you just keep going. So
even they said I didn't do it. I did not make the request.
Yeah, perfect. I'm really glad that I'm glad you brought that up. For whatever reason, we got some information here. Maybe I got the wrong person, Ruthie. Is your date of birth January 3rd, 1978? Yeah, that's me, but I didn't fill that out.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah. For whatever reason, there was some request here. Maybe someone else did it, but regardless, they make me bring it out to you to get you closed in our file. Otherwise, you're going to keep getting this phone call over and over again. So are you still working, or are you retired? Who cares if they filled it out or if they don't? Maybe it was a spouse, maybe it was a mom. Who cares? But you got a request here. You got to get it out to them. Again, you're just the UPS guy. Who cares if they did it or not? There's a package here. I got to deliver it.
Okay.
Cool.
So it's okay that I just start to dial tomorrow.
Yeah, no, I would absolutely rock it tomorrow. I would shoot for $300. You're going to book 1 in every 25 dials. So if you're trying to get 8 appointments, it'll take you 200 dials. All right. If you're trying to get 16 appointments, it'll take you 400 dials. And that's like brand new first dial day ever. So mentally just go in knowing it's going to be a long day. Get prepared, get a good night rest now, and wake up tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. And Ruthie, you're in Dallas. I'm in Dallas. So you can come to the office. I'll be there 8 a.m. if you want to come dial together. So.
Okay, I'll see.
All right.
Maybe
No pressure.
Maybe okay. All right. Thank you, Alex.
Yeah. Let me just get to Dezintra here. She's been waiting patiently in the chat. I've had no shows and porched a lot in spite of giving them license codes, asking about dogs, gates, describe car, etc. So describe it. So Dezintra, if you can unmute, please. Are you there? Dezintra.
Yes, sorry, had to find the right buttons.
Perfect. Hey,
Hi there.
no problem. Good. So when you say a lot, describe a lot to me. Like, out of X number of appointments, how many are you getting no showed on?
I would. Oh shoot! I should. 1, 2, 3. I would say over the course of about 2 weeks, I'm part-time, and I'd say over the course of about 2 weeks, I'd say maybe 6 out of 10 was that experience. And they're oh, I'm not hearing you, I'm sorry.
You're good. You're good. So 6 out of 10 have no shows.
Yeah,
Is
that
right?
was that experience, right? And they're all weird things. It's, oh, I must have been asleep. I'm like, we had a full conversation. Another one, her husband comes to the door and he says, well, she has dementia. I'm like, well, gosh, she sounded lucid yesterday. So just weird things like that.
So my first thought is 10 appointments is like not enough of a sample size to like make a for sure conclusion, right? Now, if you weren't doing the license code, the dog, the gates, the car, house numbers, if you weren't doing that, that'd be my first suggestion. But I mean, I've had days where like I've been doing this 2.5 years. I'll have back-to-back days. I have 7 appointments this day, 6 the next. I'll get no showed on 6 and then no sale on the last one. And then the next day I'll get all 6 people to sit down with. So if I were to go off the first day, I'm going to be like, my phone script must be terrible. What am I saying wrong? Like no one's home. I can't do anything. If I were to go off the second day, I'll be like, the best there is, like, right? So it all averages out over time. But if you're following the scripts and you're tying it down, talk 50, let's go 50 appointments and see what your numbers are. If you're still getting less than half after 50 appointments, there's something in your script. But I would say let's get a bigger sample size, because if you're tying it down, that's the most important part. So
all right,
good question. You're in Indianapolis, right?
Yes.
Cool. Yeah, I know we've chatted a lot in the past, but like feel free to lean on me, call me a lot. I'm here to help you out. So
okay, thanks.
Cool. Got it. Katie, Dallas office. That's the address in the chat right there. It's also in work spots, plugging work spots. Go to Dallas and work spots. It's there. So come on by tomorrow, Katie. Would love to meet you in person. What else we got? 40 people that had nothing else to do on a Sunday night. No, I'm just kidding. What else we got, guys?
Alex, have you ever filed application totally online, Zoom, like from Zoom, or you do everything like physically? You have to go to visit the house. What is it?
Yeah, the first like 2 weeks of COVID, I tried doing Zoom and I hated it. And so other than those 2 weeks, I've done everything else in person. And like I'm not like the best in FFL, right? I'm not gonna sit here and pretend I'm the absolute best. But last year I did 280,000 on my own pen, and 278,000 of that was in person, and 2,000 over 2 weeks on Zoom. So I learned real quickly, man, 2,000 in 2 weeks versus an average week of 6, 7, 8,000. I'm learning pretty quick. I like the in-person better than Zoom. So
is there any software that like a fintech software that allows you to enter the information and then to automatically give you some recommendation of the in terms of policies?
That's why you call your manager in the home. There's not a specific software that we have, because each situation is different, and it's not always as simple as just a list of meds. It's about, when was the med prescribed? Was it prescribed for congestive heart failure or for high blood pressure? So there's a lot more that goes into it than just the med. That's why I recommend calling your manager in the home, and they can help you out with the product placement, especially for your first 10. If it takes you 30 appointments to really start getting it down, that's fine. That's cool. But don't be scared to call your manager in the home. We'll help you out. So who do you work with?
I haven't started yet. I just passed my exam, so I have no license yet.
Good for you. Good for you. Nice. Who's the person that hired you, though? Who are you working with directly? Do you know?
I don't know. Nobody specific, because I just got somebody from the admin office, and she put me online, and
Cool.
So it's not. I guess I'm not officially part of the FFL.
Yeah, no, that's great. Feel free to shoot me a message afterwards. I'm sure there's some way you got introduced, but feel free to shoot me a message. We could definitely find out. Make sure you got the support you need. Okay. All right. What else we got? We lost 3 people with that conversation. They're trickling down.
I just want to say, if no one's doing it already, FFLDialTeam.com on dial days. I've been listening every day for like the past 3 weeks, 2 weeks, 2-3 weeks, and man, everything, all your objections that you overcame were just exactly what you hear on the dials. So I've been doing a lot of practicing and like rehearsing, and I'm ready.
Nice, man. Who do you work with, Paul? Who's your direct? Good night, Henry.
Cassandra Carter.
Let's go. Cassandra's amazing. If you
Yeah,
if you get even a third as good as Cassandra, you're gonna make a lot of money here.
I just
But-
did a I ran up to Houston. I just did a run with her the other day and got to see her in the action, and that was really beneficial. So yeah.
Cassandra has only had her license 14 months.
Yeah.
Her first policy was May of last year. So it's like, just a lot of repetition, and it's not that deep. These people asked for our help. So it's good, Paul. I'm excited to work with you, man.